Lollapalooza started in 1992. I mean, we couldn't actually believe it was happening. I mean, we heard rumors that Jane's Addiction was going to put on a show, and the Butthole Surfers were going to play, and I think Nine Inch Nails was just even a small band back then. You know, I think they had one album, and they were going to try to put it in like the smaller stadiums around America and do a kind of weird summer tour. And we thought, no way, that just seems impossible, you know. And it really happened. I remember going to Dallas and seeing Henry Rollins and Gibby and the fellas, and it was just like, wow, this is really happening. And then I think it built sort of, you know, like out of control really quick. I mean, we played Lollapalooza 1994, and it was the Beastie Boys, it was the Breeders, Nick Cave, the Boredoms, Stereolab, Guided by Voices, Palace Brothers. It was like living a dream. You know, as I said to the kids on the stage, it's like back in 1994. I mean, the world changes so quick. You couldn't get good coffee everywhere like you can now. I mean, everywhere you go, there's going to be a Starbucks or some version of a Starbucks, and you can get good, strong, kick-ass, flavorful coffee anywhere, right? Well, back then, you know, to get really good coffee, you know, was kind of strange. So anyway, these vendors on Lollapalooza had some very kick-ass coffee, and so we would wake up, you know, after we pulled our truck in, we'd wake up, drink some of this kick-ass coffee, and then again, like now, you go to 7-Eleven and it's all energy drinks. You know, there's ginseng and caffeine, and there's a billion versions of this energy drink thing. Well, back then, I mean, these things, I'm not saying they started with Lollapalooza, but they started with a sort of counterculture awareness of like, this shit is good. And so we would drink this strong coffee, and we would drink these energy drinks, and we would just have the time of our lives watching bands play all day. We played at about 7 o'clock, and when we got done, we'd watch the Beastie Boys. We'd sit around talking with people like Nick Cave and Kim Deal, get in the truck, drive 500 miles, and do the whole thing again. I mean, for the Flaming Lips, that's utterly living the dream. You know what I mean? And so you could think this is too good maybe to go on forever, and it was. You know, and I think by 97, certainly by 98, I think the whole thing had sort of imploded on itself, and it had just become the standard rock show, which I think is why it failed. Because I think that's why this way of doing Lollapalooza now, I think it's that kids want to go somewhere. They want to have some kind of experience. It isn't just they want to see bands. They just don't want to drive down the street to the same old venue they always go to. I mean, I've been talking to kids all day. They've come from Florida and Calgary, Canada, and Toronto, and even LA, where all these bands are going to go through LA anyway. But they want to get in their dad's crappy car and be like 5 people crammed into some Volvo from 1985, and they're going to drive to Chicago, and they're going to see bands, and they're going to buy shirts, but the experience really is their adventure.